Think you've seen everything there is to see in the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy? Think again. These movies are absolutely packed with hidden visual details, sneaky Easter eggs, continuity errors, and blink and you'll miss it moments that'll have you questioning how you never noticed them before. From cross-franchise cameos to symbolic parallels you never caught, get ready to have your mind blown 20 times in a row. Coming in at number 20, we have the Night Fury in the DreamWorks logo. Before the first movie even starts, there's already a dragon Easter egg waiting for you. During the opening DreamWorks logo sequence, where the boy sits fishing on the moon, look very carefully at the stars in the background. You can spot a shadow of a Night Fury dragon flying across the night sky. It's incredibly subtle, and most people miss it completely because they're waiting for the actual movie to start. At number 19 is the left-handed Viking army. In the celebration scene near the end of the first film, after all the dragons fly out of the volcano nest, take a closer look at which hands the Vikings are holding their swords in. Almost every single one of them is left-handed. This isn't just random background detail either. Hiccup himself is consistently shown to be left-handed throughout the series, which you can see whenever he writes in his dragon journal or wields weapons. It's a weird, subtle detail that makes Berk feel like its own unique world with its own quirks. Next up at number 18, Gloria from Madagascar makes a cameo. This is one of the wildest cross-franchise Easter eggs in animation history. When Hiccup, Astrid, and Toothless are flying to Dragon Island surrounded by a massive flock of dragons, one of those dragons is carrying a very familiar passenger in its talons. Look closely in the background and you'll spot Gloria the hippo from DreamWorks Madagascar just hanging there, being carried along for the ride. This Easter egg spawned entire fan theories about all DreamWorks movies existing in one shared universe. Taking the 17th spot is the Vanishing Tree Branch. When Hiccup is searching through the woods for the downed Night Fury early in the first film, he walks right into a tree branch that swings back and smacks him directly in the face. But watch what happens in the very next shot. Classic continuity error that somehow made it into the final film. At number 16, we have the disappearing fish basket. During Hiccup's first test flight with the artificial tail fin for Toothless, the dragon has a basket of fish balanced on his face that he's munching from. Just before they take off, the basket clearly falls off. But here's the thing, you never see that basket again. It literally vanishes into thin air between shots. Coming in at number 15 is the impossibly dry ocean plunge. During Astrid's first flight on Toothless, when he's actively trying to terrify her by flying like a maniac, Toothless plunges completely underwater multiple times. Yet somehow, when they pull up, both Astrid and Hiccup are completely bone dry. It completely defies physics, but it was apparently too expensive and time-consuming to animate them wet, so here we are. At number 14, there's the Dragon Manual tail error. In one of the scenes where Hiccup is flipping through the Dragon Manual looking at the Night Fury page, the illustrated dragon has a completely intact tail. But wait, didn't Hiccup erase part of that tail drawing in an earlier scene when he realized Toothless couldn't fly without the left tail fin? This continuity error was actually fixed in many digital theaters by mid-April 2010, and the DVD and Blu-ray releases have the corrected version showing the erased tail. But if you saw the movie in theaters during those first few weeks, you caught the mistake. Coming in at number 13, Hiccup's prosthetic leg and Toothless' prosthetic tail are perfectly parallel disabilities. At the end of the first film, when Hiccup wakes up and discovers he's lost his left leg, look at which part of Toothless is damaged. It's his left tail fin. Both of them are missing their left side, and both need prosthetics to function at their full potential. It's a beautiful metaphor for their interdependence that runs through the entire trilogy, but it's subtle enough that many viewers never consciously register the symmetry. At number 12, we have the mysteriously reloading weapon. Early in the movie, Hiccup is in Gobber's workshop showing off his dragon-catching contraption. When he casually places his left hand on it to demonstrate, the machine pops open and fires, hitting a Viking standing outside. But watch the very next shot. The machine has somehow miraculously recocked and reloaded itself. Another error the animators didn't notice. Coming in at number 11 is the shrinking and growing Toothless. If you pay close attention throughout the first film, Toothless' size compared to Hiccup changes pretty dramatically from scene to scene. Sometimes he's barely bigger than Hiccup, other times he absolutely dwarfs him. The most notable example is during the final battle. When they're flying up the Red Death's back to escape the explosion, the giant dragon's size increases significantly compared to earlier shots. This was actually admitted as a mistake in the DVD commentary, but it was left in because changing it would have required reanimating the entire sequence. Next up at number 10, there's the impossible weight distribution. Toothless is stated in the film to weigh 1,776 pounds. So explain this. At the end of the first movie, after jumping onto a crowd of people gathered around Hiccup, Toothless lands directly on Spitelout's shoulder. Despite nearly a ton of dragons suddenly crashing onto him, Spitelout only gets slightly thrown off balance. He should have been completely crushed. The same thing happens earlier when Toothless spins Stoic to the ground in the arena. Stoic gets up without a scratch, even though he should have been flattened like a pancake. At number 9, we have the vanishing ropes that reappear. After Hiccup cuts the ropes binding Toothless and the dragon flies away, Hiccup gets to his feet in front of the boulder. The ropes are completely gone from the scene, but when Hiccup returns the next day to the same spot, he finds the ropes lying right there close to the boulder where they should have been all along. Taking the number 8 spot is Stoic's impossible helmet origin. In the first film, Stoic gives Hiccup a helmet that he made from Valka's breastplate after she was taken by dragons. It's a touching moment, but then in the second film, we finally see Valka and her chest armor is nowhere near large enough to have been made into that helmet. It's a sweet continuity error that the filmmakers probably hoped nobody would measure. At number 7, the green plasma blast mystery appears. During the arena scene when Toothless is about to fire at the Vikings, a green gas can be seen forming in his mouth before he releases his plasma blast. But throughout every other scene in all 3 films and all other How to Train Your Dragon media, this gas is either purple or blue. For some reason, in this one specific shot, it's green. Nobody knows why. Coming in at number 6 is the moving knife trick. When Hiccup is trying to lure Toothless with fish, he drops his knife on the ground at a specific distance from his body. In the very next shot, without anyone touching it, the knife has moved noticeably closer to Hiccup. It's like the knife has a mind of its own. At number 5, there's the rapidly expanding burn mark. When Toothless burns the ground to make himself a comfortable place to sleep, the section of charred earth is a certain size, but between shots, that burned area drastically increases. We're talking about it nearly doubling in size without Toothless adding any more fire. Either the ground is highly flammable, or the animators miscalculated the scale between cuts. Taking the 4th spot is the shifting backdrop in How to Train Your Dragon 2. After the epic battle between Toothless and the Bewilderbeast ends, there's a scene where owners are being reunited with their dragons, but if you watch the backgrounds carefully, it keeps changing. One shot shows the ocean in the background. The next shot has Burke's houses instead of facing away from the ocean, but the characters are still in the same positions. It's like the entire landscape is rotating behind them. At number 3, we have Hiccup's backward feet. This one's genuinely weird. After the final battle, when Hiccup wakes up in his bed and gets up for the first time with his new prosthetic leg, his feet swing to the floor from the wrong direction. Based on how he's lying in bed, his feet should be on the other side. It's a subtle orientation error that doesn't make physical sense if you think about it. Next up at number 2 is Drago's Bewilderbeast returning in the Hidden World. This is one of the coolest Easter eggs that director Dean DeBlois confirmed himself. When Toothless first arrives in the Hidden World and presents himself to the massive celebration of dragons, look very carefully in the crowd. You can spot Drago's Bewilderbeast, the one with the broken tusk from the second film, among the dragons celebrating. This means that even after being used as a weapon of war, this dragon found its way to the Hidden World and was accepted. It's absolutely beautiful. And at number 1, the most heartbreaking thing you missed is in Hiccup's final scene with Toothless. When adult Hiccup, Astrid, and their kids reunite with Toothless and the Light Fury in the epilogue of the Hidden World, pay attention to how Toothless initially reacts. When Hiccup reaches out his hand just like he did all those years ago in the first film, Toothless doesn't immediately recognize him. The dragon that once knew every detail about his best friend is uncertain. It takes him a moment to put it together, to see past the beard and the years and recognize the boy who saved him. That hesitation, that brief moment where the greatest friendship in animation history almost doesn't reconnect, is absolutely devastating. It shows the real cost of their separation in a way that hits even harder when you notice it. Toothless doesn't forget Hiccup, but he had to remember him. And that single beat of uncertainty before the recognition floods in makes the reunion that much more powerful and bittersweet. So there you have it. 20 things hiding in plain sight across the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. The next time you watch these movies, you're going to be that person pausing every 5 minutes going, wait, I need to check something. Don't leave without clicking on this next video on the top 10 strongest experiments in Lilo and Stitch. Go ahead, click it.